Hello everyone, and peace of Christ, all of you. Please invite your friends and let us have some good time together. You know, one of the problems we have always, that's, you know, we hear about religions or we hear a statement. There's people who they call themselves Christian and they worship Jesus, okay. There's people who follow Buddha. There's people who follow someone, his name is Allah. There's people, they call themselves Jehovah's Witnesses. There's Mormon, there's atheist. I mean, there's all kind of things in this crazy world. And each one of those, he think that he is the right one, you know. No exception. Each one of them, he think is right, the rest is wrong. And this is very normal. I mean, the reason you follow something because you believe it's the right thing. So nothing wrong with that. But then in the same time, I question sometimes if all a human being, they have a brain. I mean, when we follow something, believe in something, shouldn't that thing be acceptable for a second? What make Islam accepted for a second? Listen carefully. What this guy will say to us. Every Muslim have a dream, and the dream is, what is the target? Is to go to heaven, and then what in the heaven will happen? This God, he will give you a lot of women for sex. So sex is a lot of it there. Okay, are you happy now? Okay, he's happy. Sex. Okay, what is next? Nothing. Oh, no, there is. You like what? Well, sex have a requirement. You know, having women need requirement to make the atmosphere perfect. Okay, what is this requirement? Let us see some of it. Listen carefully.
And you're really relaxing, and you have servants around you, and that is from and is the bricks, one brick of gold and one bricks of silver, one gold, one silver, and the saffron and rubies and diamond is the floor. Imagine this, and the cups, cup of silver, cup of gold, and you have everything, the jewelry, things you cannot even imagine. We cannot even describe. That's what we read in the Quran, we read in the Sunnah. But then
we cannot describe, but you have a brick, one of gold and one of silver. But we cannot describe, remember. We have cup. So, but remember, we cannot describe. We cannot. It's amazing. But we can describe to you the cup and the bricks, even the bricks we can, even the floor. But we cannot describe for you. I mean, this guy, he keeps saying we can't describe, and he's describing. And he's describing to us the most silly description. This is heaven. Who of us would like to live in a house, the bricks of it is made of gold and silver? What does that mean? This is disgusting, actually. It's not comfortable. It's not warm. It's not fit with our nature. We are not steel machines. Imagine if your floor is metal and your feet is walking in it. That's not comfortable for you. For your skin will not feel good. So when you say a brick of gold and brick of silver, are you trying to tempt me by the gold and the silver? What is the value of gold and silver in heaven? Gold and silver? So Allah, like, he did not find something more expensive? Why it's not made from diamonds, you know? What does that mean? Not only gold and silver, they will make an ugly color because they don't fit together. They don't fit together. You see, there's certain colors, they are comfortable for the eyes. As an example, the Quran said the Muslim man, he will have clothing from a green silk. Okay, green is something comfortable for the eyes. But people wearing green, all of them, that is not really comfortable. I like to see a natural tree color, that's nice. But I don't like to see a person, all the people around me wearing green. I will feel like I am in a doctor, a clinic, surgery room maybe. So the description is a stupid description for the heaven, but the problem is not here yet. Let us continue.
In reality, Eddie, is more beautiful more than that. You things you cannot even imagine. I'm telling you.
You cannot.
Whatever I describe, you know, for example, you eat in the Jannah. There is a password.
When you eat in the Jannah, there is a password. When you eat in the Jannah, there is a password. So now I am in heaven, and now I am hungry, I want to eat. How I can eat? There's a password. If you don't say the password, sorry. No food. Do you have a password? In the heaven, we have a password for food. Okay, tell us more.
And what are bricks of silver? One gold, one silver. And the saffron, and rubies, and diamond is the floor.
The floor is diamond. And the floor is ruby. And saffron. But do you want more? Okay.
Imagine this. And the cups, cup of silver, cup of gold.
Cup of gold, cup of silver, cup of silver, cup of gold. What is that? Is that Alibaba cave or?
And you having everything, the jewel, things you cannot even imagine. We cannot even describe. That
We cannot describe. So all description he gave us, he described even what the dirt in the floor will be. And yet he keeps saying, I cannot describe for you.
what we read in the Quran, we read in the Sunnah. But in reality, Eddie, is more beautiful more than that. You things you cannot even imagine. I'm telling you. Whatever I describe, you know, for example, you eat in the Jannah. There is a password. In the Jannah, there is a password. What is that password?
What
is that? Yeah.
Subhanallah.
Subhanallah. You say Subhanallah, food come. You know, when I say there's no vaccine for stupidity, I mean it. I mean, are you serious? Who will here really, who is a Muslim believe in this? That you are in heaven now, and now you want to eat, and now you need a password. You say it. So you Muslims, each time you say Subhanallah, food comes. So you will never praise Allah unless you are hungry. Because Subhanallah means praise be to Allah. What if you want to praise to Allah but you don't want to eat? So Allah will throw food at you. So you eat Subhanallah, Allah send you a chicken. But I don't want to eat now. I'm saying praise be to Allah. No. You say Subhanallah, Allah will throw a turkey on you. Say it one more, Allah will throw, what is this? Hey, Allah, why you are sending me falafel? Because you said Subhanallah. Don't you know that this is the password? This is heaven. This is really heaven. If you are a Muslim and you are listening, please confirm to me that you believe in this. Is it convincing to you? And maybe you do not know that even when you go to heaven, before you go to heaven, Allah will issue a passport for every Muslim. I mean, who in the world will believe in this? Passport, not password. Passport. And in your passport is going to be written there your privilege. Like how many virgins you will have, how many boys you will have. The boys are servants, supposedly. The Muslims, they say they are not for sex. Even though Sheikh Kishk, he said that you can enjoy them because you've been forbidden to have sex with them when you are down on earth, but when you are in heaven, there's nothing forbidden. Very famous sheikh. In that passport, Allah will write your privilege in the heaven, including how many women you will sleep with, what is your location, because remember the Islamic heaven is 100 floor. So in that passport will say you are living floor number 10 or 20 or 50 or 60 or maybe 90 or 99, whatever. And depending on your floor, the food will change, the number of women and boys will change, the number of, let us say, or the quality of life will change. As an example, Muhammad, he said in the hadith that the lowest reward for a Muslim man is this. This is the lowest, which means this is for the bad Muslim. At least the least of the people of paradise. In position is the one with 80,000 servants. And those servants are what? Those servants are little boys. 80,000 little slave, little boy. The Quran speak about how beautiful they are. And here you need to question why they are so beautiful and why they are so white and why the Quran described them like pearl. If we go back to the video, you will see the guy, he will tell us more about those servants. Or he will tell us more about your food. Let us see how the food come.
Subhanallah.
Glory be to God.
That's it. For example, what is the best bird? You see in the tub a bird, beautiful bird. You wish, only you wish, that bird is for you. That bird.
But you just said you have to say a password. There's a huge difference between you wish and you have to say a password. So are we going to wish or we are going to have a password?
It have like a roasted bird.
Roasted.
You say subhanallah, you have it.
You say subhanallah. The roasted turkey is in front of you. But remember carefully, Muslim, what he just said. You look at the bird in the sky. You look at the birds in the sky. You wish to have the bird will be in front of you cooked. Okay, that's wonderful. So why you lie to us saying that the Quran speak about boys who will be servant? They will serve you doing what? The Quran says it clearly. That the Muslims in the heaven, their clothes will never be washed. Their clothes will never be ruined. Their clothes will never be wrinkled. Okay. And now we just heard that if you wish a food will be cooked and roasted in front of you, and there is no dirt, there's no garbage, there's no poo-poo, there's no pee-pee. So what the servants for? Any Muslim? What is the job of those little boys who they are very white like pearls? Because now you just told me those 80,000 little boys at least, because this is the lowest reward. So Osama bin Laden, he will have millions of them. So if my food will be cooked and served without any servant, if my drink is the same, if my clothes will never be wrinkled, will never be damaged, I never even change my shirt all my life for eternity. So what those boys for? Any Muslim can tell us? Additional to that, all the Muslims agree that those are little boys. What kind of God he adopt a form of slavery in the heaven? You see, we understand that a human being is greedy, he's filthy, he's disgusting, he like to use and abuse others if he get a chance to do so. There's people, I'm sure, if they can enslave all the world, they will not hesitate for a second. We hear every day about human trafficking and slavery until now. But this is heaven. And heaven is a place of justice. And heaven is a place of decency. So if we go to decency, heaven, yet we are not decent, or what we are doing there is just having sex with women we don't even know. With women we have no feeling for, with women we never met, they are made just for sex. And then our decent believers, they are going to have boys to serve them for eternity, abusing children for eternity. And how many? The lowest reward is 80,000 child. There is no vaccine for stupidity. If you go a little bit to the previous verses, it says to you, description of this heaven, and you will die laughing. Allah saying to them, okay, be patient, for I will give you the following. Okay, what you will give them? Gardens. Anyone knows the gardens of Allah is made from what? Who knows? When the verse here says Allah will give the Muslims gardens, what does garden mean? Any Muslim? Not the Muslim will not have a garden. Gardens, Jannat. You see, when we say the Muslims believe in heaven, the Muslim heaven is not one heaven. There's many. According to Muhammad, let me see if I can find the hadith in English. Everyone will have two heaven at least. One is made from gold and one is made from silver. Can you believe it? Let us see. Yeah. Indeed, in paradise, there is two gardens. There's what? There's two gardens. Their vessels and all that are of them are of silvers. There are two gardens. Their vessels all are of gold, and you read the rest. There's different hadith which make it more clear. The Prophet said there will be two paradise of silver, and all the, like, whatever inside it and whatever they're in will be of silver, and two paradise of gold, and whatever is inside it is of gold. That will make them four, by the way. Remember, in the other hadith it says there's two gardens, one from silver and one from gold. Now Muhammad, he changed, the number became four. You will have four gardens, two gardens made of silver, and two gardens made of gold. And everything inside what those gardens have, everything, not only the garden, the floor, the dirt, everything is made of gold. That's it. The trees is of gold. If the garden is made of gold, that's mean the trees are gold. The rabbit is gold. The birds are gold. Everything is made of gold. Now the Muslim, they might say here, no, he's talking about the dishes. No, it says there's two paradises of silver, and whatever is inside is made of silver. And paradise of heaven, and whatever is inside of gold, made of gold. So I think it's clear. Okay, now we go to heaven, and Allah will give us four heaven for each one of us. And everything inside is made of gold. And now Allah will open the door, and He will order at least 80,000 little boys to enter into your palaces or your garden. What their duty is to serve you, supposedly. Let us assume there's nothing dirty there, and they will not be used and abused as for sex, like the Sheikh Kishk, he said. But what that make Allah? So now we are seeking God, and by seeking this God, he is preparing for us a place in heaven, and this place of heaven is gardens made of gold and silver. Always we say to ourselves, who is the one who tempt me with money, with gold, with silver? What is the value of gold and silver for God? You see, material have a value based in the location. To make it simple for you, there is a billionaire. He's driving in the highway in the middle of nowhere. And he is driving the most expensive car. He have billions of dollars in the bank. And then his car broke in the middle of the desert. He have a credit card, he can pay for anything. In that location, his money is useless. In that location, his money is a stupid money. Because he did not bring with him what will make him survive, which is water, which is food, which is a blanket, which is maybe medicine. But he is a billionaire. So this God, when he speaks to us about, if you believe in me, I will give you this, he is trying to tempt what on me? Where is God in this heaven? In this video, this person, he spoke about your servant. I'll try to remember which part he spoke about the servants.
And one door or one gate, your servants from all kind of servants would come and enter to help you. You have...
Guys, honest to God, I don't remember the time. I just click. It came perfectly on the place I want. Amazing. So there's a door for you in the heaven. You open the door, and from that door, your servant will come. Okay, tell us about those servants. Listen carefully.
Servants from all kind of servants would come and enter to help you. You have 70,000 servants.
See, the number changed depending on the hadith. The hadith I was showing you is 80,000. This guy is quoting for us different hadith, saying 70. 70. Okay, listen carefully. So, in the heaven, you see a bird in the sky. You wish to have it, it's going to be in front of you. This is what he said himself, not me. We played the video for you. Okay. Your clothes, your food, you don't need anyone. You will never even take a shower. Even Muhammad in the hadith, he said that. If we go here, let me show you. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. Allah Apostle said the first group of people who will enter paradise will be so white. You see here they are translating as glittering. The fact they will be so white. The better you are, the whiter you are. Like the moon when it's full. And they will not spit or blow their noses or relieve nature. Their utensils will be of gold, and their cups of gold and silver, and their center of aloe wood will be used, and there is a sweat will be smell like musk, and every one of them will have 2 wives, and the marrow of the bones of the wives, the legs, will be transparent. You can see the marrow of their bones. Okay. So I am in heaven. I never sweat. I never take a shower. My clothes will never get wrinkled. And we can show you more reference, So what the servant for? Any Muslim can tell us? What is the servant for? Who is a Muslim want to help us? What the servant will do? You don't take a shower, you don't get dirty, your clothes will never get wrinkled, your comb is made from gold. It's strange that your Allah did not make your hair, fixed. Look at this. Are you Muslim? When Muhammad he said that the clothes of the people of heaven will never damage, will never be bad, will never be ripped, will never get old. So I do not need somebody to wash my clothes. I do not need somebody to do ironing for them. But what exactly the heaven servant for? Let me try to find the hadith about the clothes of the Muslims. Yeah, we cannot find this hadith in English, but it's in Arabic. But let us see. It should be found in Sahih Muslim. I don't know why it's not coming. Let us see here. Here we go. Read it. He who would get into paradise would be made to enjoy such an everlasting. Like what? Read. It says it clearly for you. He will be always happy. And what happiness is sex and food. And his clothes will not be wearing out. And his age will never decline. He will stay youth forever. He will stay young. So what the servant for? Any Muslim? This guy in the video was reading for us this. And by the way, here there's a statement Muhammad he said, which is very important, where Muhammad he said, he swear by Allah that if you don't commit sin and ask for forgiveness, Allah will bring people other than you. He will destroy you, and he will bring other people who commit sin and ask for forgiveness. You see it? And if you did not sin, Allah would surely have brought a new creation. Different hadiths say it more clear. Translation is not too much accurate. It says, if you don't commit sin, Allah will destroy you, will whip you out of the earth, and he will bring a new creation, and he make them commit sin, and they ask for forgiveness. So in Islam, obviously, this God is sick. He enjoy somebody seeing somebody begging for forgiveness. So if you don't commit sin, Allah will destroy you. And this is totally the opposite of the story of Noah and the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And here we see Muhammad making his own stupid teaching again. Because if this God will destroy me for not committing sin, so what the story of Noah is about then? And what the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is about? And what the punishment for? Because obviously Allah, he like the one who do sin, and he enjoy it. And if you don't do sin, he hate you. He will destroy you. And then I said, O Messenger of Allah, from what was the creation created? He said, from water. And here Muhammad is again making another stupid mistake. Because isn't the Quran says that Allah, He created the genie from fire and the angels from light, according to the hadith? So not all the creation created from water, according to Islam. And then he said, what paradise is constructed of? He said, the brick of silver and brick of gold. Its mortar is the musk of a strong fragrance. And, you know, read the rest. Pearls and rubies and saffron. The earth is covered by saffron. Whoever shall enter it, he shall not suffer, and he shall feel joy. And he shall not die. His clothes will not wear out, and their youth, you know, will never come to an end, etc. Again, as long we are independent in heaven, we wish for food, the food come to us. Even the trees, the Quran says, قُطُوفَهَا دَانِيَةٌ. Even the tree, when you want to eat from a tree, you don't go to the tree come to you. You do not need to extend your hand. So what the servants for? Do we have any Muslim? Any Muslim can explain to us what the servant for? You Muslim don't read the Quran. The Quran says what for. The Quran says that those servants, they will go around you and serve you wine. That's what the Muslim says. They will serve you wine. But where it says serve you wine there? I don't see it. Any Muslim can tell me? Is that a different verse? Muslims, are you with me? What the boys will do? In different verse it says Muslims are ignorant, they don't know religion. But when we read this, we see how stupid this verse is. Let us see. In front of us, we have a few verses, which is, I find, you remember this guy, what his name? Noman. He was speaking that the Quran is a book, is not organized, you know, like the topic is all over the place. This is an example where we can find about the boys, you know, and what the Muslims would drink, where we can find description of the heaven. It's all over the place. So here it says, in chapter 37, verse number 45, round them will be passed a cup of a pure wine. Who is the one who will pass those wines to them? The Muslim, they will say, the boys. How come this verse is not connected to the verse where it's speaking about the boys? Because that verse says the boys will go around them. Why the verse about what they will drink is here? Obviously, somebody move it here. And then you will see that the Quran described that you will be sitting in your bed and not in your throne. This is a false translation. And they will be facing, or they will be reclining on the top of their beds, and they will be eating fruits. And then you will see here, if you go a little bit down, you will see it says, again repeating the same he said about the boys, he is speaking about the women. And with them will be female, قاصرات الطرف. قاصرات الطرف here says the chest females. That's not false. That's false. It is women who they are restrained and jailed inside their tent, which means they cannot see anyone from outside. They are jailed. They cannot get out. They are, because remember, those are your sex toys. They are made just for you. Nobody can see them. So they are restrained in their homes, which Muhammad described as a tent made of pearl, and the size of it is the same distance between Yemen and Damascus, each tent, which is like, maybe, I don't know, you can check Google, maybe 1,200 kilometers or something like this. So there is women who they are so white and they are so beautiful. And here it says, and they will be, what egg? Muslims, Allah, He promised you women, they are white like eggs. Is that really what it says? Well, in Arabic it says, yeah, it says eggs. Any Muslim can help us? What is this? The women are like eggs? You see, it doesn't say they are white, actually. It says they are like eggs. But is that true? Let us change the translator. Let us see what will happen with the eggs. As if they were eggs carefully protected. This is how Allah, He described the women in heaven. Maknoon is not protected. Maknoon is something you hide. What protected? I mean, all my life I wanted to have a woman, she looked like an egg, to be honest with you. What does that mean, Muslims? As if they were eggs. What the Quran is saying to you, that the women, they will be inside their tents. And inside that tent, there is women who they are like eggs. They are white, yes, very white, but they are hidden from the eyes of anyone, so nobody can take your eggs. Have you ever heard of such a description for women before? Women are like eggs, like hidden eggs. And then shall come of them advance to others, questioning each other. The Muslim, they will ask each other, what this verse have to do with the verse before it? Any Muslim can tell me? Is that something we will do in heaven? No. So what is verse here? Muslims, is that a verse about the heaven? Look, all of this is about heaven. Okay, we will have a fruit. We will have gardens. We will sit in the top of our beds. They will go around us, give us a drink. white and delicious to those who drink. Okay. There's no trouble, there's no exhausted, because you will have sex, never stop, you don't never get tired. Okay, and then there's women who they are jailed in their tent and they are like eggs. Okay, what does verse after it have to do with the verses before it? And what the verse before it, after it, have to do with the heaven? And what this have to do with the heaven? And what this have to do with the heaven? And this, what is this? Let it go. We go back to the first question. What the servants for? If our clothes will never be ruined, if we will never take a shower, we'll never get dirty, there's no dishes to wash, there's no bathroom, there's no restroom, there's no kitchen, there's no garbage, what the kids will do? What 80,000 little child will do to you? This guy in the video says 70,000. Let us say, for the sake of argument, those children are going to serve me wine. How many child I need to serve me wine all day long?
All kind of servants would come and enter to help you. You have 70,000 servants in the paradise, in that castle.
70,000.
70,000 in that paradise. Imagine this.
And the guy, he shake his head like 70,000. Yeah, convinced. And this guy, the other guy, supposedly he's a convert. I mean, how stupid you are to convert to such a garbage, you idiot. Don't you have a dignity? What happened to your dignity? Do you accept really that in the house of God, in the place of God, in the heaven of God, you will abuse 70,000 child to do what? To serve you wine? So there's a God who will bring me 70,000 little boy, and he will enslave them for me for eternity, and their job is to serve me wine. How much wine I will drink a day? And why you cannot drink wine by yourself? And why the women who is around you cannot give you wine? Why little boys? Any Muslim can help us? 70,000. The guy, he's shaking his head like, 70,000, like, you know, it's like a normal number, you know. And Muhammad is stuck with number. There's numbers Muhammad is stuck with them: 40, 70, 7, 3. 70,000.
All kind of servants would come and enter to help you. You have 70,000 servants in the paradise, in that castle.
70,000.
70,000 in that paradise. Imagine this. And one door, this one.
Look at this face. By the way, this guy who was talking about the heaven, later his visa is over, and he wanted to stay in USA. So they told him, go to the hospital and make yourself sick so we can extend your visa. And he made a video asking for donation. Allah cannot send him donation, and now suddenly he need the kuffar visa. Right? Daddy ultimate? Yeah, you are just a low-class person. Just go. You are ashamed for your family, kid. Yeah, this is the kid. He liked he liked the spanking. This is the kid, he said, you do not need Arabic to understand the Quran. When his stupid Quran says, we made it in the language so they might understand. And the donkey, he says, no, we do not need to know Arabic. So okay, how you understand it? We do not need to language. Okay, how you understand it then? Because we don't know, we do not need Arabic, you understand the Quran. Like, okay. How you understand it? This guy, he think he's a man. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. You idiot. Are you making fun of Allah? We reveal it to you in Arabic so you might understand, you donkey. We do not need to know Arabic to understand the Quran. This is why I don't talk to you. You're just a kid. I mean, if somebody want to say to me such a statement, shall I continue to talk to him? This is exactly what Islam is about. especially those who do not know really Islam at all. They are coming from Nigeria, Africa. They have no idea. They want to just believe Islam is a good religion. And the second you discuss with them in order to avoid any embarrassment, they say, we don't believe in the hadith. We don't accept any tafsir. And we do not need Arabic to understand the Quran. So how do you read the Quran? In which language you read it? We do not need to read it. So how do you understand it? No, when you speak to people down in the level, you are lowering yourself. Don't do that. We give them a chance, yeah, but if you continue doing that, that will make you go down. Trashy people. Those are the trash. There's Muslims who they, like, I wish always we can get some Muslims who they are smart, intelligent, educated. But what usually we get, like, do you remember this guy, Nunu? Somebody told me that he made a video saying, I ran away from him. I mean, the guy, he says to me, I have to go. And he is the one who refused to answer, and he hung up. And he is saying the Christian prince ran away from me. This is how they are. So, yeah, we ran away from you. You are so trashy to the point we don't want to touch you. As simple as that. You are always victorious. Yeah. And there is one thing actually I don't like about the Christians. The Christians, they come and they post in the comment section, even the admins, they post, did you see when this guy he said about you, why you are posting their links? Go there yourself, why you are promoting them? Not only Muslims, they have a lack of intellect. Many Christians, they do. Are you promoting their stupidity? No, anyone he will see the comment, he will click to go there, right? So what you did? You want to show what he did, make a channel of your own, play his video, and explain why it's stupid. Otherwise, just making people to go to watch it, there's no point of it. Very, some people don't think what is next. And then you will see some Christians, they say to you, let the guy talk, man. Like, Nader Ahmed was talking to me. They said, why you keep interrupting him? Well, those people, they will talk forever. They will never answer. So I find it very, and I say to those who claim to be Christian, please don't stop by. Don't stop by to tell me how to talk to Muslims. Go open your own channel. Show me the best you can do. I want to learn from you. They sit watching a leg in the top of the other leg. They have a cup of tea in their hand, and they want to teach you how to talk to Muslims. I spend my life debating them. They will never answer anything. You have to force the Muslim to answer. Otherwise, he will never answer. Go watch any debate. They call it debate. You will find that there's no answer. Watch debate of David Wood with Shabir Ali. Shabir Ali never answer. With Mimi Hijab, never answer. Why? Because he did not force them to answer. You have to force. What those people, they do in a debate, they give you 5 minutes, you say whatever you want, and then they give 5 minutes to the other person, he say whatever you want, but nobody answer anyone. And nobody force anyone to answer the question. And when they say something, they don't go after the person when he said that, because both of them, they have printed debate. They don't have a debate. They prepare a debate a month in advance. They have a printed script. And they are reading from it or memorizing from it. Real debate is, you said this, I'm listening carefully for what you said, and then I use what you said to me against you. That is a debate. The rest is a joke. This is why you will never see any successful debate happen between Christians and Muslims, because none of them, neither the Muslim, neither the Christians, are debating. What they are doing is, I make a statement, I go in the stage, I search Google, like, about the topic, and they have a topic in advance. They set the topic a month in advance or 2 months in advance. That is not a debate, my friend. Debate is, you say something, and I'm not expecting you to say it. So either I'm a person who knows how to answer you, even you never told me you will say that. You never told me what the topic. But if people, they knew the topic, and they have the time, 5 minutes for you, 5 minutes. Never do such a debate. It's a stupid. It's not a debate. It's not even exist. It's better even if it's not happened. You see, when Jesus was used to speak to the Jews, do they you have like 5 minutes for you, 5 minutes for me? What is this? Who brought this form? That is not. That is a sign of a stupidity, actually. Debate shall not have a topic except religion. Call me. Tell me, what do you want to say? Surprise me. That is a debater. A person who need a topic in advance, in 5 minutes, and start putting conditions. Obviously, he is trying to limit, to restrain the other person from his ability to refute. And for me, I never saw a debate happen. When the last time you saw a debate? Actually, there's only one person I like him when he debate, if we can call it a debate too. Even it was happening in the same format. That was, what's his name? Anthony something, I forgot his name. This guy, when a Muslim is talking, he's listening. He is listening. He don't have a script written in his computer. He's listening to the Muslim, what he say. So when he take the microphone again, he said to him, you said that. This is a person who is thinking. Even though I don't like the format, which is like 5 minutes for you, because again, that is not the right format. The real debate is open conversation, crossfire. Speak over me, no problem. People are the judge. At the end of the day, what we need is the question and the answer, not who speak better. Right? Yeah, Anthony Roger. Yeah, I like the way he think. You know, obviously he's smart. He have a high IQ, and he listened to the Muslims. You see, the problem is when those people, they prepare for a debate and they call themselves debaters, regardless if they are Christians or Muslims, they are not really debaters. They don't have the skills of debate. Debate is not about you going to Google and printing 1,000 question and printing 1,000 answer. Debater is someone is ready for any question. It's like when you go to the exam. Actually, it's more difficult from exam. Why? Because in the exam, you know that this test today is about geography. Okay, so I study for geography. This test today is about mathematics. So I'm preparing for mathematics. When you debate about religion, all kinds of questions can come. It can be about geography. It can be about mathematics. It can be about philosophy. It can be about science. So you have to be prepared. Otherwise, you don't fit to call yourself a debater. This is why, you know, who dare to open his program and say, call me any question, any question. They don't dare. They don't. And here we go. If there is any Muslim would like to call me, and I'm willing to change the topic for him, no problem, because we covered it already. I will open my pal talk and I will take your call. Actually, let me see if there is any Muslim would like to call us. I will open my pal talk. All right. Let us see. All right. I have only one message from the sister who left Islam, and she I forgot yesterday she accepted Christ. I don't remember. The lady, her name is Hidden Rose. Did she accept Christ? I think she did, right? I forgot really. 2 days ago. Yeah, I think she did. All right. Any Muslim would like to call us and tell us something good about Islam, I will be happy to hear you. And we can change the topic for you, no problem. You know? So again, what is the answer for having boys in the heaven? And what is the wisdom behind it? Anyone knows why Muhammad he want boys in the bedroom? Is it sinful to say Ramadan Kareem to Muslims? First of all, what Ramadan Kareem mean? Do you know what Ramadan Kareem mean? What Kareem mean? What Kareem mean? Generous? Was Ramadan generous? The month of Ramadan is where the Muslims they attack Christians and Jews and everybody. So how that is the month of generosity? Right? This is the Muslim Abdul. He's calling me piggy. Potato. We don't want to be like Muslims, you know, but Islam is not a good religion. So if you say to them Ramadan is Kareem, Ramadan is generous, what Ramadan did? Is that the month where Muhammad slaughtered the Jews and the Christians? This is not just an occasion, say to, you know, is that when Muhammad and the Muslims, they attack Israel? Where Egypt and Iraq and Syria and Saudi Arabia and Morocco and all Muslim countries, they gather together to attack Israel? That is Ramadan. So I can say be nice to the Muslims, but don't be nice to Islam. You know, you want to be nice to Muslims, say how are you, you know, be good for them, don't hate them, yeah. But Islam is a disgusting cult. Don't be a hypocrite to Islam, my friend. Any Muslim? So the boys in the heaven have a reason. Have a reason. It cannot be because they are going to serve wine. And the proof in the description of those boys, they will be so white like pearls. The same exactly like the women. The women are like eggs. The boys are like pearls. Any Muslim can explain to us why they are so pretty. Pretty, not beautiful. Pretty. And why they are so young. And if the heaven provide you everything you need, who need a servant? Any Muslim? And when this guy is describing for us the heaven, and they are so proud about it to publish this, you see, this is not a secret. This is something they are proud about. This is something to tempt you to believe. This is supposedly what will make you a believer. If this is really what make me a believer, so what make me a devilish person? What is the devil will promise you? You know, when God, he created Adam, how many women he created with Eve for him? All of us, we knew the story of Adam, right? Okay. God, he created Adam. How many women he gave Adam to be with him, to be his partner? How many? One. Her name is Eve. So how come in heaven we're supposedly we are coming back? This heaven is not the same heaven as Adam heaven. What is missing? Why in the heaven of Adam there was only one man and one woman? And what one woman can do, 1,000 women cannot do. Especially if I tell you that the virgins which Muhammad he promised you to have, all of them, they look the same. Can you believe it? So sleeping with one as you slept with all. This is how stupid the story is. So what the point of sleeping with the tens of thousands of them? All of them, they have the same voice. All of them, they speak the same words. Even they sing the same song. If you have my book, Sex and Allah, you will see what they sing. You will see how they look. All of them, they have the same size of a breast, as the Quran describes. All of them, they will have the same age. So, what those are for? Somebody saying Solomon, he married 600 women. Well, you know, he married, but it's not God who told him to marry. Who said that he was a good guy? Go and read the Bible. You see, people, they say things based on their ignorance. This guy is a king. He spent his day women and drinking and poetry. This is not God told him that. This is why even the Bible condemns both the Son and the Father. People, they speak their ignorance. If I do something bad, what does this have to do with Jesus? Let us say I was a famous person in the time of the Jews. I was a king or a ruler, and I did all kind of crazy stuff. What does this have to do with God? If God said to him, do this, then you can say God told him to do that. In your religion, it's your God who made it lawful for you even to have in earth mighty women and never stop changing women. Even when Muhammad, he had a fight with his wives, Muhammad, he made clear threat saying that his God Allah, he said, if they don't behave, Allah will exchange them. The Arab, they used to exchange wives. You take mine, I take yours. And you can find that in my book, Sex and Allah, and you can see the reference. So when the women, they are not happy with Muhammad, and he was cheating on them, sleeping with their own maids in their beds, and they have a strike against him. And then Muhammad, he says that, oh, their heart is inclined, and they became kuffar. If you don't repent, Allah and the angels and the believers and Jibreel and everybody is against you. And maybe his Lord, he will divorce you. The translation said, but the fact doesn't say that. It says, actually, it says you divorce you, and then he says exchange you. It says here, will give you in your place wives better than you. It doesn't say that. It says exchange you with better wife. Exchange, not replace you. Change the translator. See? Look what happened. The word exchange appear. Do you see it? Exchange. That is your religion, my friend. So when somebody come to you and says, this king, he did that, and that king, he did that in the Bible report the sin and the good of the people. Like when a Muslim, he come, he says the daughter of Lot, they had sex with their father. Well, this is additional proof that the Bible never been changed. Because if there is a story, somebody want to hide it, that is a story to hide. Correct? If somebody, he knew it's a shameful thing, let us say, and then they say that the Jews corrupted their book. Well, the Jews corrupted their book where? If they corrupted their book, those stories should not be there. But why they will change it anyway? This is a book reporting what people did, not what God did. So if a woman, she have sex with somebody, well, the woman she did, it's not God, he told her go and do that. And they say to you, how the daughters of Lot they did, the Quran says that the wife of Lot, she was a whore. How the Quran says that? The Quran says that the wife of Lot and the wife of Noah, both, they betrayed their husband, they were sleeping around. If the Muslim, they will say they were not sleeping around, well, it says khanatuhuma, khanat, they cheated. That's what the word khan means. And remember, that will get Muhammad busted. Why? Because the Quran says in different verse that good men for good women, bad women for bad men, which is stupid to say. Because if only bad men marry bad women and only good women marry good men, well, then that's mean that we will not find any woman bad and she is married to a good man, or vice versa. Correct? So when the Quran says such a statement, which I find it extremely stupid, and then you say that the Prophet of Allah, because remember in Islam, Lot is a prophet, in Christianity he is not. He's not a prophet. So when the Quran in chapter 24, verse number 26 says, this is a stupid translation. Bad statement are for bad people. What's, I mean, what does those people, what they use when they translate? Bad women for bad men. This is the correct translation. And bad men for bad women. Let me change this donkey. What would this have? Hilali Khan? Video. Bad statement. Suddenly women became a statement. Vile women are for vile men. I don't know if I'm saying the word correctly. And vile men are for vile women. Good women are for good men, and good men for good women. Do you see it? So how the other verse says that the wives of Noah and Lot, they cheated their husbands. That means Noah and Lot, they are bad. Correct, guys? What the Quran is saying here, that Allah, he made a destiny that the bad women, they marry the bad man. That's a destiny. And the good women, they marry good men. Vice versa. Good men, they marry good women. Bad men marry bad women. That's wonderful. So then how you say to me that the wives of Noah and Lot, they did cheat their husbands? Any Muslim? Anyone? This is the most stupid thing ever. I mean, what? Bad men marry bad women only? And good women marry good men only? And good men marry good women only? Who want to believe in such a garbage? Your Bible says contains no statement of its corruption. You know, if you have somebody want to say something, let him call me so we can laugh together. Okay, you know, just to show you, Mr. I don't know what your name is. Just to show you how stupid what you just said. Let this guy call me, and in 2 seconds he will be defeated. Why? I do not even need to go and read the verse. Without even reading the verse. But we are willing to read it, and we will be happy. But look what you just showed me. Somebody, his name is Ijaz. Okay, what Ijaz mean? I don't know. He's trying to copy Arabic, supposedly. Jeremiah 8:8, speaking of its corruption, is that according to the Christian understanding, the Jewish understanding, or Abdul understanding? Same time, let us say for the sake of argument, this guy was right, and that verse is speaking about the corruption of the Bible, right? So how does stupid Muhammad, he swear by it? And he say, I believe in you. I will go with him. Yeah. That's mean Muhammad is a fraud. He came to the Jews. They asked him a question about adultery. He told them to bring the Torah. And he said to them, bring the Torah for me. They brought the Torah. Muhammad, he treated the Torah with a lot of respect. They gave him a cushion, and Muhammad, he sat on it, as you see. They placed a cushion for the messenger of Allah, and who sat on it and said, bring the Torah. He said, Muhammad, bring the Torah. It was then brought. Then he withdrew the cushion from underneath of him. Look how much respect he's showing to the Torah. To the point he will not even put it in the ground. He want to put it in the cushion. So he took the cushion from beneath of him, and he placed the Torah on it, saying, I believe in thee and him who revealed thee. So the donkey who said that to you, what he said, he need to refute his prophet, not me. Are you with me, my friend? This is why I say that the Chinese, they said a lot of wisdom, he let as a donkey, never come back as a horse. For if the Torah is corrupted, and then Muhammad, he say, I believe in thee, swearing by the whole Torah, he placed his hand in the Torah, saying, I believe in thee, and the one who sent thee. So he was believing in Jeremiah 8. What do you say? And if you go to Jeremiah, Jeremiah is, you will see here a decent man, if he don't have the law of God, then how he said to them, you don't have the law of God? Which means I have it, you don't. He is speaking about the hypocrite like your prophet, the false teachers. They claim that they have the law of God. They claim that they have Sharia. They claim that they have knowledge. They claim to be a rabbi. But Jesus said of them, even the Bible says, the synagogue of the devil. Does that mean all the synagogue are the synagogue of the devil? So my friend, stupid people, they can say stupid things and we laugh. Right? Isn't it Jesus, he said to them, if you are of your father Abraham, you do the work of your father. Does that mean Jesus saying that the Jews are not from Abraham? According to your donkey, he will say, oh, okay, he's saying that they are not from Abraham. No, that's not what he's saying. He's rebuking them and saying to them, you are false. So even Jesus saying, you don't have the law. Which mean what? Which mean you are false in your teaching, you are not practicing the law, and you don't follow the law. But Jesus said, I came to complete, not to destroy. Which means Jesus, he agreed with it. He did not say it's corrupted. He says they are corrupted. Do we understand, Christians? What the Bible is speaking of is corrupt people. Not saying that the Bible is corrupted. Doesn't matter, Torah or not. Those teachers, he's speaking about teachers, those who teach, they teach. Those who they are rabbis. Those who they are rabbis, they are false teachers. And the verses are so clear. Even you know, why you don't read the verse before it? It says they are after money. They are deceivers. They are liars. They do shameful act. He's talking about who? He's talking about people who didn't believe. They are not believers. They are fake. And just to show you how stupid what you are saying, if they don't have a law, well, this is the law in front of you, because what he is saying is a law, how to be decent. So how we don't have law? And what imagine, guys, Jeremiah is saying things, and then we put those things in the Bible, and those things, imagine, according to Abdul, those things says there's no Bible. But where do we find it in the Bible? And actually, even this is a prophecy about the future. Because if you read from the beginning, just to show you that you are a certified donkey, you and the one who read. And by the way, I like to use the word certified and donkeys, because donkeys are everywhere. Did you read only verse number 8, or you did not read verse number 1? It's a prophecy, you idiot. That because you did that, and because you said that, in the judgment that will happen to you. So there's bad people always, there's false rabbi. Who is the one who sent Jesus to the court? The rabbi. Are they rabbi? Yes. Are they official rabbi? Yes. Are they the one who is in charge of the religion of the Jews at that time? Yes. But does that mean they corrupted the book? No. They are false, not the book. Like when the Jews, they were following a woman to stone her. Was that according to the book? Yes. Does the book say to stone the women who do such a thing? Yes. But what Jesus said to them? We are a bunch of liars, hypocrite. Even they don't even bring the man. They are after the. Have you ever heard of a woman, she committed adultery alone? Where is the man? Because the woman, she is poor, they are going after her, but nobody is going after the man. If you read it from verse number 1, it says, at that time, says the Lord, he shall bring out bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priest, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inheritance of Jerusalem, out of their graves. So this is a prophecy about the future, when judgment will come. And then everybody who commits sin, he don't repent, he deceive, he did lie, he will pay. So he is not talking about the book is corrupted, you're a liar. He's talking about the corrupt people. And I will give you an example. Christians, is it true that there is a book, it's called Talmud? The Jews wrote it by their hands, and we don't accept it? And it's not even holy book for the Jews? Is that correct? Or I'm making things up? Is it true that the Jews, they have many books? We don't consider it at all to be accepted for a second? This is the books. They wrote by their hands. Otherwise, God, he have his prophets, and all the prophets who is considered a prophet in the Bible are there, and whatever they said is written there. including the one who is speaking about those corrupt ones. So they wrote books, and actually Muhammad, he stole most of those stories from the stupid books of the Jews. Where Muhammad, he got the story of the talking ant? From those books. Where Muhammad, he got the story that the punishment of the grave is from urine? From those books. So when somebody come to you and say, oh, let me show you a verse in the Bible saying this, this is actually a clear verse that we have always guardian for the faith, and Jeremiah is one of them. And this is why his name is written there, not the names of the liars. Do you understand, guys? If the Jews are ashamed of Jeremiah, they will not call Jeremiah a prophet, and they will not believe in him. And they will not believe in what he said. So Jeremiah was exposing the liars, not every Jew. Here you see the stupidity of those people who claim that they found something against us. In the same time, as you see, you're a prophet, he take an oath. So if for the sake of argument Jeremiah was speaking as you claim, then how Muhammad, he take an oath of it? I want an answer. Who is a Muslim wanna call me and answer me right now? Muhammad taking an oath saying, I believe in thee. Which book? The Torah. But Qur'an 1991 say otherwise. You see, you are okay. Let me put your screen. Why you don't call me? I don't know what to read your name in your region. Weird language. Hold on. Okay. Did you ever even open the Quran? As long as you are reading my book, obviously you don't read. I think you are copy and paste from somebody. Says, okay, you were correct in this. Muhammad would not be swear by it, but I read your book. What, that Allah wants sons, not daughters. Here you see that you are suffering from the flight of thoughts. So look how you switch so fast. So your first attempt did not work, and now we change. How come Quran 1991, 92 say the opposite? Let us see what Quran 1992 says, and then we will laugh. This is Quran 19. Why you don't call me, my friend, so we can hear you, and people, they can hear your side of the story. You're welcome. Here you see, I'm not calling you names, by the way, but excuse me, I speak in a natural way. I'm not politically correct. You are a certified donkey. Because it's not me who says Allah don't like to have son, to a daughter. It's the Quran says that. So as long as you have my book, didn't I show you the verses? It says Allah saying that this is unjust division, that for you the daughters and for you the sons and for him the daughter. What's wrong with you? It's Allah who's saying that, not me. So you are saying to me, your book saying, it's not my book saying, it's Allah. So obviously you never read my book and you are being stupid. Let's open the verses. My book saying? No, it's Allah saying. Let us see. Read with me and try not to laugh. And remember, I will put again what you gave me in the screen. Your book saying. What? for you the male sex and for him the female? Who is complaining about the gender? Is it me? Are you there, Abdul? What's wrong with people? Your book says, your book says. No, it's not my book says, it is your God saying. Your God saying what? What? Why he's saying that? They gave him 3 daughters. Read carefully. Have you seen Al-Lat and Al-Uzza and the other goddess Manat? What? For you the male sex and for him the female? Who said that? This is not a Christian prince, my friend. This is Allah. Idiot. Obviously he's copying an article somebody wrote for him about what I said. But this is why they don't dare to call me, because they will get busted in a second. My book says so? No, no, my book does not say that. My book saying what Allah said. So if you say to me that chapter 19 verse 91 saying that, that is a stupid thing to say. Why? Because in different verse again Muhammad he says, or Allah he says, that if you want to take a partner or a son, he will take from ourselves. And Allah in different verse too. There's many verses actually. You know, the good thing that Muhammad he talk a lot. Isn't it the Quran? It says if Allah wanted to have a son, he will say, be my son, and he will be. So how the verse in chapter 19 say what it says? It's a total contradiction. Let's go there. So what the problem? Read it. If Allah had willed to choose a son, he could have chosen him what he would of that which he has created. Well, so? How the verse you gave me, chapter 19, it says it's not fit for Allah to have a son. And now he's saying here, if Allah would choose a son, if he would like to choose a son, he would choose from the one who created. Look at this. But I thought it doesn't fit. So it's Allah who complained about the Arab giving him female daughters. And here, by the way, this is proving the lies that Muslims, they say to us, that the Arab before Islam used to disrespect women. They claim that Islam gave women right. As you see, the Muslims, they are the one who put the women inside the veil. And the Arab, they are the one who worship them as goddess. Do you see it? That destroy all the lies about the Arab before Islam used to abuse women. Because the Arab before Islam, they don't have a problem even to worship women as God. Correct? Not only they have them as a queens or as leaders. Even Muhammad, he used to work for Khadija before Islam. His boss, she was a woman. His wife, she was his boss. Actually, he married her because of the money. She's way older than him. She have 2 husbands before him. And yet this young man, he married this old woman for a very simple reason. She is his ticket. And Muhammad himself, obviously, he don't like to marry women older than him. This is why we see the story where Muhammad, he was tempting Jabir. He says to him, why you don't marry a child? So you can sport with her, you can have fun with her. When Jabir, he married a woman, she is a widow. Muhammad, he said to him, did you marry a virgin or previously married women? He said to him, previously married women. He said, why you don't marry a child, a young girl? Let us see how young this girl. The story here explained to us. Why Muhammad then he married Khadija? Obviously the money. So Allah Messenger said to Jabir, have you married? I said yes. He again said, a virgin one or previously married? He said, oh Allah Messenger, previously married. Whereupon he said, why you don't marry a young girl, Jariya, a child, so you could play with her? Play with her? This is the purpose of marriage? And she could sport with you, or you could amuse with her, and she could amuse with you. This is Muhammad's idea of a female. He wants a female child. When Muhammad giving an advice, such an advice to a married man, trying to make him leave his wife and go after children like him. He married Khadija. She was old because of her money, but he married Aisha because she is young. This is the dream of Muhammad. And then Jabir, he answered Muhammad, the perverted man Muhammad, he said to him, my brother Abdullah, he died. He fell a martyr in Uhud, and he left 9 or 7 daughters behind him. I therefore did not approve the idea of bringing a girl like them. Do you see it says like them? Jabir was young. Jabir was young. You stupid Abdul. He married a widow. So Jabir, okay, Muhammad was young too when he married Khadija. You stupid idiot. Look at the excuse. And how young he is. His brother, he have 7 or 9 children, and he is young. He's 6 years old, right? He is taking care of a big family. He was young. He was a man, you donkey. Get out of here, get out of here. You are like a diarrhea in my chat. Seriously. So the man said clearly, why I cannot bring someone like them? Read carefully. This is why I did not prove the idea that I should bring a girl like them. Girl like them. So his brother, he died, and he have 7 daughters. Those are orphans. And this guy is taking care of the orphans. And Muhammad is tempting him to bring a girl like them in their age. The guy is saying, I want a woman so she can take care of them. He want a woman. He said Abdullah, he died and fell martyr in Uhud, and he left 9 or 7 daughters behind him. I therefore did not approve the idea that I should bring a girl like them, but I prefer to bring a woman who should look after them. So girl like them who need somebody to look after them. Do you see the point? Do you see it? Perverted man. And you know, and look here, the man who is not a prophet, he is way more decent than the filthy Muhammad. He said, so can teach them good manner. Muhammad, he don't care about having a woman to teach her kids good manner. He cares for one thing, so you can sport with her, sport with you. She amuse you and you amuse her. So this is the perverted man Muhammad, who is now almost in his 60. He is advising one of his men, saying to him, what's wrong with you? Why you marry growing women? Why you don't marry a child? Why you don't go and rape a child? Is that an advice of a prophet of God? Now, if this man is a stupid like Muhammad, perverted, he will go to his house, he will divorce his wife, and he go and look for a child. Because this is the advice of the prophet. Who knows best? The prophet. Nobody knows more than the prophet. Again, we go back to our topic. Muslims, why you have 70 or 80,000 little boys in the heaven to serve you? Until now, you give us no answer. There is no vaccine for stupidity. It's a stupid to believe that there's God, he want to give me women with big boobs. It's a stupid to believe that there's God will make river of wine, river of wine, and then Allah, he says that wine is the handmake of Shaitan. So it's made by Shaitan, bought by Allah. Muslims? It's made by shaitan. Bought by Allah. Do you see it? And by the way, you know, not because I'm a Christian or it's, you know, you can go and read about the benefit of alcohol. Alcohol is an amazing product. But as any product, anything exists in this earth, can be harmful, can be useful. How many people through centuries, through the time, you clean the wound of an injured person by alcohol. It was the best always. Like now we have a new product to cleanse your wound, right? But through centuries and centuries, alcohol was the product, was the best product to clean your wounds. Otherwise, your wound will develop and will become something evil, and you might lose your arm or leg, or even die by infection. So alcohol, as anything, too much salt can kill you. Too much water, you will be drowned. Too much air, you will not breathe. If you go in a bicycle and you speed too much and you are not wearing a helmet, what will happen? You can't breathe because the speed is so high, too much air. There's too much air is coming up against your face to the point you cannot even take it inside your throat. Anything is too much is not healthy. Too much food, you will become overweight and you will die by heart attack or whatever. Too much is bad always. So alcohol, the Lord, he says, little of it will bless your heart. And actually even scientists, they say clearly that those who have heart problem, it's good for them to drink alcohol, little alcohol from time to time. You can use alcohol for many wonderful things. But as everything in this earth, the good can be used for bad. You know, we make cars to travel, but there's a bad person, he can drive a car through a crowd and kill them. But the car is the same car. Does that mean the car is made of the devil? Actually, the first bicycle came to Saudi Arabia. The police in the customs, they arrested the guy and they took the bicycle to the court, and then they brought the Muslims in the middle of, I think it was Jeddah, and they executed the bicycle, and they call it the bike of the devil, because they never saw a bike before. This is the bike of the devil. Our friend Tawfiq, who left Islam, asking me about Sufism. Sufism is another, like, they are not peaceful. It's a lie when they say to you Sufism is peaceful. There's a huge number of the Muslim Brotherhood. Actually, Erdogan is a Sufi. He's the biggest criminal in history. They killed the Kurdish. They killed the Armenian. They killed, I mean, they are, you know, Sufism have nothing to do with peace. Sufism is a new religion out of Islam came, and they could not stay without, let's say, dancing and music. Those are people who've been forced into Islam. They could not accept Islam the way Muhammad, he brought it to them. So they have to add their own, let us say, touches to make Islam more attractive. So what they do, they add dancing, they add the music, they add all kind of stuff. But they are the same. They do jihad, they kill, they do terrorism. It's the same. Muslim Brotherhood is the best example. All right. Any Muslim? Let us see. We have somebody texting. Let us see if he is a Muslim. Can you find reference that Allah is the moon god, and La mention of Allah? Okay, well, this is will need like a lot of work to give reference, but let me give you something fast and easy about who is Allah. Allah, or Allah, La, is the moon god. Akbar is the sun god. If we go and find the stories from the hadith, the Muslim, they will try to play games with it, and they will say we don't accept it. So let us go to the Quran. In chapter 6, verse number 78, the story here about Abraham worshipping planets. Do you see it, my friend, the one who asked me? The mysterious mystery? Read carefully. This is Abraham. When the night grew dark upon him, he beheld a star. He said, "This is my Lord." Do you see it? But when it set, he said, "I love not things that set." Now, the translation here for a star, it's Kawkab. Kawkab really is not a star. Kawkab is a planet. Kawkaban. Then he continues saying, "And when he saw the moon uprising, he exclaimed, and he said, 'This is my Lord.' But when it set, he said, 'Unless my Lord guide me, I surely shall become one of the folk who astray.'" Okay. Then when he saw the sun uprising, he cried and he said, "This is my Lord, this is Akbar." Do you see it? What Abraham called the sun? Akbar. The translation here says greater. The Arabic is Akbar. If you know how the word Arabic for Akbar written, this is how it is. So what Abraham, he said when he saw the sun, he said, "This is my Lord, this is Akbar." So the sun was the greatest God. Akbar. Even in the Muslim translation says the greater. Right? But Akbar does not really greater as much, present a name of God who in control of that planet or star. So La is the moon god, not the moon itself. He is the moon god. You see, many naive, they mix up between the moon god and the moon. The moon god is the God who controls the moon. The sun god is the God who controls the sun, not the sun itself. So the moon god is Allah. The sun god is Akbar. What Muhammad he came with is the two God became one. Allahu Akbar. This is why when we Arabic we say it, we say Allahu Akbar. Who in Arabic mean and. Allahu Akbar. The letter Wa in Arabic mean and. So how you say Allah and Akbar? And if the Muslim they say Allahu Akbar mean Allah is a greater, well the sentence is missing. Let us say for the sake of argument, it's missing many things. When you say Allah is a greater, what is is? And greater from what? See, the Muslims, they say Akbar and they stop. Allahu Akbar, okay. Okay, Allah is Akbar from what? Akbar in Arabic is to compare between size of two things or even age. So I can say that this brother Akbaru minni, he is older than me. Which means his age, Or it can be even someone who is a greater in the value or a greater in the account, but all the time it's talking about something have to do with the size. Like age is a size of years, you know, count of years. I can say this tree is akbar from this tree. It's bigger as a size. All right. So when the Muslim they say Allahu Akbar, and the Muslim they say to us Allah mean the Akbar mean the greater or the greatest. Okay, greatest from what? Any Muslim can help us? Allah is the greatest from what? Any Muslim can help me? Hey, Ali Ibrahim, we have a pal talk. If you like to call me, you are welcome. If you like, don't post Skype. You know, we have pal talk open. Text me there. Any Muslim can tell us Allah is bigger than what? Or greater than what? Okay, we have someone who used to be a Muslim, not anymore. That's good. Mobahai, my friend, from the Philippines. Any Muslim? Is Allah is a greater? Allah greater from what? Who is a Muslim want to help us? Hashim, if you want to read more, actually, you can read my books. In my books, I give more details, you know, of those things. You see, if you want to go like to all these, oh, somebody's trying to call me. That's strange. Maybe he is in my... Okay, he's not answering. All right, what we can do. Any Muslim can help us? Allah is Akbar from what? If Allah and Akbar is not two gods, God Allah or La, and God Akbar became one God. If Allah Akbar mean Allah is a greater, Allah greater from what? Other gods? Well, if Allah is greater than other gods, that means they exist. That means He is not the only God. Correct? When I say that Allah is a greater, and I say greater than other God, that means there's other gods. Any Muslim? Just simple question, you will see Islam will be in trouble. Okay, Allah is a greater. Who is saying that? Allah. Okay, Allah, He was comparing Himself to who? Because when I say I am a greater, I'm comparing myself automatically. Otherwise, the second part of the sentence is missing. There's something wrong. You don't say I'm Akbar without saying you're Akbar from what? You are Akbar from what? The Bible says God of gods. Yeah, because you know the Bible says that God is the King of kings too. Does that mean He is a king like the rest of the kings? No. You know, there's God. here, this is a metaphorical of people worshipping many gods. So all the gods, all the false gods, they are going to bow down to this true God, which means they are going to be demolished. But here, when you compare yourself and you say, oh, you are Akbar, you see, what Akbar mean? Greater? That means they are great. You are not condemning them. You are not saying I am the God of gods. You are saying I am greater. That means they are great too. You just said something good about them, which means they are not fake. If I say I am smarter, that means you are smart. Right? If I say I'm smarter than you, that means you are smart, but I am smarter, so both of us are smart. So if Allah is saying He is a greater, that means they are great, but He is a greater. And you know, like each language have its own tradition, like in Arabic or even in English. Like you have a God with capital letter and you have God with a small letter. So always when you read the translation, they make it clear for you what they mean by this, by the gods or the gods, you know. Obviously they are talking about false gods. Is Allah greater than the false gods? Because if He's greater than the false God, He have to be from their kind. You see, you compare something to something from the same kind. When you speak about the value, so when I compare between two, or I'm talking about myself to be better, I'm better than this person. That means he's good, but I'm better. Well, we are just trying to find out how the Muslims, they come to an answer for those things. It's very simple things, but yet they cannot answer it. You see, Islam is a religion. As long you memorize, you repeat, you say we believe, you don't ask questions, Islam is fine. The second you start asking questions, then Islam collapses. You remember yesterday we were playing the video for you, the guy, he was saying that the Prophet, he was able to say ALM. How he can do that? An advice about the vaccine. My friend, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. You know, if I give you an advice, it's going to be a false advice. How somebody like me can advise you about the vaccine? I have no idea. Any Muslim? Give me a new version of Paltalk. When I'm going to give you a version of Paltalk, just search it. Anyone? Yeah, the Prophet, he was amazing. He was able to say ALM. This is what kind of a religion they have. You know, they are desperate. Their God is not God. So they have to make God look like God. I mean, the fake God. The Prophet was able to say Alif Lam Mim. How he can do that? That's impossible. How the Prophet can do that? You can put yourself in his shoes. It's impossible. A prophet of God, he is 45 years old, something. He was able to repeat the 3 letters. How he can do that? I mean, come on, we have to be serious here. This is amazing. He said ALM. Do you know how hard to say those things? Here you notice how much this religion is silly and stupid, and they are bankrupt. No serious conversation. No serious questions. Yet silly praising for the fake prophet. The prophet was able to say Alif Lam Mim. Obviously, this is kind of mystery of God. He was able to make a man in the age of 45 to repeat 3 letters in his own language. And one of those letters is his name. Start with letter M, Muhammad, M. A-L-M.
You know, La ilma lana illa ma allamtana. And if you don't have that attitude, you cannot understand the rest of the Quran. Forget it. But understand this. Did the Prophet ﷺ, did he know how to read?
No.
وَمَا كُنْتَ تَتْلُو مِنْ قَبْلِهِ مِنْ كِتَابٍ وَمَا تَخُطُّهُ بِيَمِينِهِ.
Look how he's shaking his head.
النبي الأمي, you know, he doesn't know how to read.
Yeah.
Now when someone does not know how to read, the word alif doesn't make any sense.
Make no sense.
The word lam doesn't make any sense. The word meme doesn't make any sense, because these are letters of the alphabet.
So how you are saying the word, you idiot, if they are letters? How you say the word alif doesn't make sense, the word meme doesn't make sense, the word lam doesn't make sense, but it's letter. How you say it's word? Because these are letters. Oh boy.
Alphabet. And the only people who learn the alphabet are people who learn how to what? Read. So the first thing that was given in the surah is reminding you that the messenger himself, alayhi salatu wasalam, has no clue how to read, and yet out of his mouth comes the word alif, lam, mim, which is impossible for someone who doesn't read.
It's impossible. I mean, come on. Here you notice how Islam work. Islam work in fooling around, saying stupid things, and nobody dare to this. No, by the way, I'm assuring you that all those who are listening, nobody is even listening. Because if one of them is, a single person is really listening, he will ask right away, what do you mean it's amazing for him to repeat the 3 letters? This guy is speaking the language all his life. And those letters are part of his language all his life. And even they exist in his name. So what do you mean he was able to repeat them, yet you do not know how to read? What does this have to do with reading and writing? What does it have to do with reading and writing? Repeating letters. So, because they are worshipping him, and nobody dare to question the stupidity. That's why I say, like, there's no vaccine for stupidity. We cannot fix that. That's it. So the prophet was a prophet. And it's a sign that he's a prophet because he was able to repeat the 3 letters. Do we have any Muslim? Until now, we have nobody is willing to help us from the Muslims. Thank you for those who are saying good words for me. I really appreciate you. And sorry if I don't answer you. Expose the prophecies of the Quran. The Quran has prophecies where? I don't remember any. Where? The Quran have prophecies? Refresh my memory. You know, you remember the Muslim, they say that the prophet, he spoke about the victory of the Roman? Do you remember? And they say that the Roman is going to be victorious again in a few years, and they did. First of all, this is false prophecy, because they did not really take in less than 9 years. It took them many years after. But let me show you how the prophecy of Islam works. Let us see. Read carefully and laugh. Abu Sa'id narrated, on the day of Badr, the Roman had victory over the Persian. So the believers were pleased with that. Then the following was revealed. Alif Lam Mim, the Roman had been defeated up to the saying, and the believers rejoice. Okay, hold on. So the verse came after the Roman, they became victorious. So how this can be a prophecy? Guys, do you understand what's saying here? The Roman been defeated. Okay, we got that. The hadith he's saying that the Roman now they are victorious, and then this verse was revealed. So according to this verse, the hadith here, this verse was revealed after they've been victorious. So where is the prophecy? Do you see it? On the day of Badr, the Roman had victory. Do you see it? Over the Persians. So the believer will rejoice, pleased. The following was revealed. Now it's revealed. See, the following was revealed. Alif Lam Mim, the Roman has been defeated up to his saying. So the believer were happy of the victory of the Roman over the Persian. So let me tell you a prophecy based on this standard of a prophethood. Donald Trump, he was defeated. Christian Prince, he lost the election. If he lost the election, maybe. A few months ago, where is the prophecy? Well, the mole in the prophet bag is a joke. I don't think this is true. You know, the Muslims, they have always wrong understanding for the Arabic. The Muslim, what they say, that the prophet, he have a mole based on the verse in the Quran. But the verse in the Quran, it doesn't say. You see, the Muslim always, they have wrong understanding of their book. If you go to chapter 33, verse number 40, this verse says, Muhammad was not the father of any among you. And then now you find that every Muslim king, he claimed to be descendant from Muhammad. Every one of them. King of Morocco, King of Jordan, Saddam Hussein, Al-Qaddafi, every scumbag, he claimed to be descendant from Muhammad. Just to take over the Muslims. And then Muhammad is AW, not a father of any among you, but he is a messenger of Allah. And the last end of the prophet, this is a translation. This is why it's important if you want to study a religion, a cult, to know the language. In Arabic, it doesn't say anything about the last. It doesn't say the end. It's a lie. The word in here, it says, Khatamun Nabiyyin. Khatam. The word Khatam is a stamp. You know a stamp? That is Khatam. You can check it out in the dictionary. So what Muhammad is saying, that he is the one who approved all the messengers came before him. He's not the last one, and he is not the first one, and he is not descended from any of them, and you don't have descendant too. Yet he is the one who agree with all the prophets who came before him. So he have his, you know, his stamp or seal over what they said. He agree with it. This is why the Quran have tens of verses saying, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ. He agree in what would they have. He believes in what they have, in what is given to them. So this is again a wrong understanding. Because you see, if Muhammad is the last prophet as the Muslims understand it, then how Jesus is coming back? Muhammad, he said, let me find the hadith. Just to show you the stupidity of this man and how easy to defeat Islam. Okay. Read carefully. The Prophet said, there is no prophet between me and him. That is Jesus. Do you see it, guys? There's no prophet between me and Jesus. So when the Quran speak about John the Baptist, who is John the Baptist then? They call him Yahya. Stupidity is amazing. How Muhammad, he said, there's no prophet between me and Isa. And then the stupid Quran says that Zechariah, he have a son, his name is John, and he is a prophet. Do you see it? But Muhammad, he made it clear, there's no prophet between me and between Isa. There's no messenger, there's nobody between us. Is that true? The Prophet said, there's no prophet between me and him. He mean what? Jesus. This is how easy to get Islam busted. But in order to get Islam busted, my friend, you have to have knowledge, right? It might be stressful to earn all this knowledge. But by having you here with us, I'm making things easy for you. Instead of reading the whole book, study it so hard, and read in tons of books and hadith and etc., we are grabbing it for you, put it in front of you, easy served, easy cooked. You see, what I'm putting for you in front of you in a second, it took me years of study. You know what I mean? It's not like something I opened the book first day and right away I found this and I found that. It doesn't work this way. You are lucky that now there is people who they are, designated their time to teach you about this garbage. When I was, even though I'm born in the Middle East, Arabic is my first language, but nobody dare to talk about it. Nobody. Nobody when I say to you Islam, nobody there. Who there? Nobody. People live in fear, my friend. This is not a topic to mention in the Middle East. Even if people who knows Islam is biggest garbage ever, they ask them the question about it, they will say, change the topic. Zechariah supposedly is the father, according to the Quran, he is the father of Yahya. And then you ask yourself, where is the word Yahya coming from? Yahya is John the Baptist. Always Muhammad, he have his own names for everything. How I memorize those hadith? Well, I mean, we memorize as much as I can. I cannot say I memorize everything. But, for me, I don't focus on memorizing as much as I memorize, let us say, certain keywords. Like, I know the story. I understand the story. And then I keep in my head certain keywords. So when I'm speaking about a topic, those keywords connected, you know what I mean? Like they match. Then the other memory come with it. Well, this is a CD course, my friend. What we are doing here? I'm staying here for 3, 4, 5 hours. This is a CD, you know, download it, make it a CD. What do you want more? I'm showing the screen, I'm answering live. CD, the teacher talking and the student are not there. But now you are asking questions, I'm asking you, I'm answering you right away. Any question? Until now, no Muslims want to call us, sadly. You know, nobody want to answer us why we need 70 or 80,000 little child in the heaven to serve us. Nobody want to answer that. What is your favorite hadith to Basta Abdul? I know, that's very hard a question actually. All of them are stupid. You see, you can discover stupidity in any hadith you wish. Just read carefully. Anything, even the one that sound like fine. Like now, if you say to me, okay, give me a chapter which you think there's nothing wrong with it. Who's a Muslim here can help us? Just to give you an idea how to get them busted. Who is a Muslim can show me a chapter in the Quran, there's nothing I can say against it. Anything. Anyone can do that? Any Muslim? I mean, it's impossible. Don't tell me that all the Quran is mad. You have 114 chapters. Choose one. If you are a Muslim and you don't dare to choose one, that's when you know that all the Quran is wrong. Anyone? All the Quran, even the one the Muslim they think it's really good, you know, all the Quran. الكتاب المقدس يوجد كلمة الله هل هو? No, my friend Rami, this is translation. This is a false translation for the Holy Bible. The word Allah is not exist in the Greek book, does not exist in the Hebrew, and does not exist in the Aramaic. In the Aramaic we have ilah, il, which is the word the Hebrew coming from. The Hebrew is taken from the Aramaic. All those languages, by the way, they are born of the Aramaic. Hebrew, Arabic. Arabic is a mix of languages. Arabic is not even a language by itself. Arabic is a mix of Persian, Hebrew, Aramaic, but major number of it, or let's say word of it, is coming from the Aramaic. Like, you know, when the Muslim here, they say in the front verse in front of you, it says John, but doesn't say John in the Quran in Arabic. It says Yahya, and you know that no Christian knows who is Yahya. We do not know who is Yahya. In Arabic, which is coming from the Aramaic, we call him Yuhanna. Yuhanna. There's nothing is called Yahya. So this is the version. Okay, Isa, who is Isa? But if you read in the Quran, it says, the translation says Jesus. This is false translation of the name of Christ, the same as the false translation of the word Lord or Jehovah or Yahweh in the Arabic Bible. So if you have an Arabic Bible, I advise you to do this. Download the version. I think there's a few versions that don't have the word Allah, but you need to search for them. Download it and with Microsoft Word, search for the word Allah and replace it. You know, because you see the Bible, when many Christians they think that the Bible, when they say when God he says to Moses, my name is Yahweh. Yahweh is not a name. Even he says to him, my name, the word name, but this is how you call me. I am who I am. This is not a name. So because it's a foreign language for you, you think, oh, this is a name. It's Yahweh. Same as Jehovah. Jehovah is not a name. Hashim is not a name. Shaddadi is not a name. There's no name can describe God. So the God of the Bible never gave really a name. There's an African brother who is a preacher. Let me see if I can find his video. I like his speech. Very inspiring. And this is what happened when somebody is passionate. You know, when somebody is passionate, somebody he is speaking from his heart. Let me see if I can find. I don't remember the name of this brother. I need to find his video. Like I know he's. I think he passed away a long time ago. I think it's called "This Is My Lord." Yeah, I don't know how to find it. Hashim, show me irrefutable contradiction. Well, everything is contradiction. But just ask yourself, which Allah he created first? The mountains or the stars? It takes you 2 minutes, my friend. If you are decent, if you are truthful, go to chapter 41, go to chapter 79, and read the order of the creation, and you will see right away. I mean, this is no way you can go around it. Have you ever heard of a God you don't remember? Which one he created first? Did you hear me, my friend, Hashim? Very simple. Because if Allah is God, then there is no way God will not remember which one he created first. This is the easiest one. Chuck Missler, I don't know really his name, but what I remember, he's an old African brother. Very nice speech. Are you with me, Hashim? Check it out. You see, remember the Quran says that Allah, he created everything on earth and then he went to heaven. Mr. King, Doctor, okay, let me search. I don't know. I don't really know the name, sorry. But I remember the words, you know. Okay, let's see. Yeah, maybe this is the gentleman. Let us see. That is my king. Okay, let's move the beginning. We're playing the video.
I am called upon everywhere I go.
Yeah, this is an old recording of this.
Explain what kind of name I have.
Yeah, but let us see where he. This is all the speech, I think. Yeah, this is the same person. You're right. His name is Dr. S.M. Lockridge. Yeah. This is my Lord.
It's Friday. Jesus is praying. Peter's asleep. Judas is betraying. But Sunday's coming. It's Friday. Pilate's struggling. The council is conspiring. The crowd is vilifying. They don't even know that Sunday's coming. It's Friday. The disciples are running like sheep without a shepherd. Mary's crying. Peter is denying. But they don't know that Sundays are coming. It's Friday. The Romans beat my Jesus. They robe him in scarlet. They crown him with thorns. But they don't know that Sunday's coming. It's Friday. See Jesus.
Yeah, I like what he's saying very much. I like the music. Here you notice when somebody is really he's being blessed, he speak really from his heart, and the word they come really in a very, very, very amazing way. So we need to search for where he said, "This is my king. This is my king." The sermon he have is very long. See, there's people, they come in your life. I never met him, I don't know him, this person, but you will never forget them. I mean, their speech is amazing, inspiring, and he is, when this guy was born, I wasn't exist yet in this earth. But people, they come, and people, they go. But there's people will be always remembered, for they are unique.
The Bible says he's a king of the Jews. He's a king of Israel. He's a king of righteousness. He's a king of the ages. He's a king of heaven. He's a king of glory. He's a king of kings, and he is the Lord of lords. Now that's my king. Do you know him? No means of measure can define his limitless love. Well, he's enduringly strong. He's entirely sincere. He's eternally steadfast. He's immortally graceful. He's imperially powerful. And he's impartially merciful. Do you know him? He's God's Son. He's a sinner's Savior. He's the centerpiece of civilization. He's unparalleled. He's unprecedented. Well, he's the loftiest idea in literature. He's the highest personality in philosophy. He's the fundamental doctrine of true theology. Do you know him? He supplies strength for the weak. He's available for the tempted and the tried. He sympathizes and he saves. He heals the sick. He cleanses the lepers. He forgives sinners. He discharges debtors. He delivers the captives. He defends the feeble. He blesses the young. He serves the unfortunate. He regards the aged. He rewards the diligent. And he beautifies the meek. Do you know him? My king is a key of knowledge. He's a wellspring of wisdom. He's a doorway of deliverance. He's a pathway of peace. He's a roadway of righteousness. He's a highway of holiness. He's a gateway of glory. Do you know him? His light is matchless. His goodness is limitless. His mercy is everlasting. His love never changes. His word is enough. His grace is sufficient. His reign is righteous. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. Well, I wish I could describe him to you, but he's indescribable. He's indescribable. Yeah.
Amazing. He said, I wish I can describe him for you. I mean, after all what he said, I wish I can describe him. Amazing. This guy is really amazing. Unbelievable.
He's indescribable. He's indescribable. Yeah. He's incomprehensible. He's invincible. He's irresistible. You can't get him out of your mouth. You can't get him off of your head. You can't outlive him, and you can't live without him. Well, Pharisees couldn't stand him, but they found out they couldn't stop him. Pilate couldn't find any fault in him. Herod couldn't kill him. Death couldn't handle him, and the grave couldn't hold him. That's my king. Yeah! He always has been, and he always will be. I'm talking about he had no predecessor, and he'll have no successor. You can't impeach him, and he's not going to resign. That's right.
I'm into that, my friend. Amazing. Very beautiful. You see, the Muslims, they speak about the beautiful Quran. I mean, this brother here, I challenge the God of Islam, he can come with a speech like this. Not like what we see in front of our screen. Stupidity, an ant, she said to the ant, hide kids for a story. I mean, it's not even good for cartoon. This is not, this guy is just an inspired person speaking from his heart. Beautiful words. He knew his book very well. He knew his Lord very well. And he keeps saying to you, I wish I can describe him for you. After all what he said, I wish I can describe him. And everything he said is coming from the Bible. You know? Everything he said is coming from the Bible. And here, by the way, I want to remind the Christians how beautiful Christ is. You see, one day, the disciple of Jesus, they came and they went to all the world to teach, right? So they went to Europe, some they went to Africa. According to the Coptic Church, St. Thomas, he went to Africa, to Egypt. And some they went all the way to Asia. But imagine, my friend, that one day, the African, they have no idea anything about Christ. And the African, they receive a Christ. And time come, and the African, they teach you about Christ. Isn't it amazing? One day, Christians, white Christians, let us say, used to go to Africa to baptize the African, to teach them about Christ. Today, the African are baptizing the white and teaching the white about Christ. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it amazing? And this is telling you that Christ, he's in the heart of those who believe. Doesn't matter what is their color. Doesn't matter what their ethnic. You hear this guy, and you compare him to many who, who speak, who preach, but you will see that this person is speaking from really from his heart. I mean, this guy, his heart is almost coming to come out of his chest to say what he want to say. And I guarantee you, this guy, he don't prepare himself. I guarantee you that this person, he's not reading from a paper. I never saw him, by the way, but I am sure he don't read from a paper. So, do you remember the story where a white man, he went to Brazil, and in Brazil, when he went there, he wanted to go and visit the tribe area. So he asked for a guide, to go in the jungle, in the Amazon. So they found him a local, and in their way, they agree about the trip. He will pay him. In the way, when they take a break, they sleep or whatever, this Brazilian man, he have a little book in his hand, and he read from it from time to time. So the white man, he asked him, the European man, he said to him, so tell me, my friend, what is that book? Because it's a different language, you don't understand what he's reading. So what is this book you are reading? The Brazilian, he said to him, oh, this is the Bible. The white man, he laughed. He said to him, you people are still reading those things? You people are still reading those things? The Brazilian man, he felt insulted, but he did not do anything, you know. And they continue. And then they arrive where they want to, really the trip is to go. So they went to old caves where the old tribes used to live, and they used to eat a human. They used to eat a human. So the man, he showed him the bones, he showed him how he used to cook, they showed him the remain of a human being, those who've been eaten by the tribe. And he is one of the tribe. He used to be his, you know, he is descendant from that tribe. So the white man, he said to the Brazilian man, he said, so now those, your people don't eat people no more? He said, no. He said, what happened? The Brazilian man, he held the Bible in his hand, and he said to him, if not this book, you will be in my dish. If not this book, you will be in my dish. So the foolish white man was making fun of the Bible, saying, you still read those things? Making fun of this man for reading the Bible. And then at the end, he recognized that if not that book, today you are going to be cooked, and we will eat you with no mercy. So this is how the stupid man, he lived. And this is how the stupid man, he died. He think he is perfect. He think that the Bible did not change the life of tens of millions, did not change the Christian life, did not change the civilization. Man is a beast, my friend. The man is literally is a beast. When a man, he act like an animal, he is the worst animal. There's no animal like him. He is the worst. Because animals, they kill to eat. Human, they kill for joy. They torture for fun. They take what they don't need. The rich want to be richer. You see a cat, she kidnapped a chicken and she ate the chicken, and now that's it, she is done. She don't go after another chicken. Another chicken for another day. A human being, he don't do that. He want to take what he have, and he want to take what he don't have. Yeah, my friend, yeah. In many countries, they used to eat a human, and until now, actually, there's some areas are still, like, you know, areas who did not receive the Bible yet. There's a very famous leader for the Muslims, and he is relative to Muhammad, supposedly. His name is Khalid ibn al-Walid. This person, he killed a man, and he cooked him. And he raped his wife. He took her. And the Muslims are so proud about this hero. They call him even the sword of Allah. The sword of Allah. Right? So, you know, the Bible changed a lot. Even if you are an atheist, trust me, it's for your benefit that people around you are Christians. Because if they are not true believers, then there's no reason for them not to be good to you. They can be bad. I mean, when you're an atheist, what is the law? The law is what stopping you from being bad, right? But what if the law, you know, the law is blind. I mean, the law doesn't say everything. So if you can do things secretly, you do it. If the law will not know about it, right? But when you are a Christian, you don't believe that the law is blind. You believe that God can see everything. So when a Christian, he think about doing something bad, he knew that it's bad. He feel guilty, and he knew that God, he can see. He's not blind. But if you're an atheist, you can hide your crime. So all what you need to do, you know, you commit your crime and you hide the crime. You hide the evidence. But if you're a believer, you hide it from who exactly? From who? From God? So it's for your benefit to be a believer. So Hashim, did you check the reference, my friend? You asked me to show you a contradiction, and you said you will leave Islam. Did you check it? I gave you time to check it out. provide me about cooking a man? You mean about Khalid al-Walid? Well, as long as you speak Arabic, just search. Let us see. Khalid. Let's see. Even the Muslims, they have videos about it. They are proud about it. The Sheikh is proud how he cooked him. He cooked his head, and he had sex with the wife. This is the Sheikh of Al-Azhar. This is the official government website, TV of Egypt. It says here, as long as you speak Arabic, خالد بن الوليد يقطع رأس الصحابي مالك بن النويرة ويطبخها. Okay, let's make the sound like he is shouting.
إن شاء الله في أرض المحشر. خالد بن الوليد الصحابي الجليل قتل مالك بن نويرة وقطع راسه وحطها في قدر يعني حلة وغلاها وكلها هو والصحابة ثم.
Listen carefully. Did you hear it, Hashim? Khalid ibn al-Walid, he killed ibn Nuwayra. He cooked him. He cut his head. He put him in a pot, and he cooked him, and he was moving his hand like adding spice. And then he and his Sahaba, they killed him, the companion of the Prophet. They ate the guy. Listen carefully again.
قالوا قتل خالد بن
Hold on.
حاجة إن شاء الله في أرض المحشر. خالد بن الوليد الصحابي الجليل قتل مالك بن نويرة وقطع راسه وحطها في قدر يعني حلة وغلاها وكلها هو والصحابة ثم نزى أي زنى بامرأة هذا الرجل.
And then he did committed adultery, fornication in the wife of that man. Let me give you the link. You can watch it. And there's tons of reference of this. I don't know if you speak Arabic or not, but you can give it to anyone who speaks Arabic. And this is a sheikh from Al-Azhar University speaking in the official Egyptian TV. No shame. He cooked the guy. For sure, he killed him first. He cut his head. He put his head in a pot, and he made a soup of it. And he ate it with his friends and the companion of the Prophet. And then he jumped to the house of the man and he raped the wife. And this is in your TV. Actually, in the book of Al-Azhar University, it's teaching about how to eat. Let me see, hold on. If somebody leave Islam, you can eat him raw. If somebody is not, you have to cook him, I think. Hold on. Can you believe it? This is what they teach in their books, in the university. Here we go. Let's see, hold on.
على الفقر وناخذ نساءهم سبايا.
والله يا سيدي الحويني ما جاب حاجه من عنده، يعني هذا الكلام بيتدرس للعيال اللي في الازهر.
He's saying this is what we teach in our for our children in Al-Azhar. Azhar is the highest school for Muslims in the world, not in Saudi Arabia, it's in Egypt.
بس
الكلام ده لما يبقى زمان عند نشر الإسلام.
هو ده اللي بيدرس.
The host, he's saying to him, oh, maybe this is when Islam started in the beginning. They used to do that. He said, no, read. This is now.
بيدرسوا العيال
ماشي
دلوقتي.
الإسلام
ما هو لما
ماشي، إنما النهاردة
لما بيدرسوا لهم الكلام ده دماغهم ما بتستحملش الحضارة فبيقعدوا يتكلموا معانا بحكم الأموات.
So he said to them, okay, when you teach them this information, they cannot listen to us, and they don't talk to us as a civilized people no more. They speak to us with the language of the dead, which means Muhammad.
بتوع زمان اللي من سنة 1000 سنة فاتت ويقهرونا وإلا ما نبقاش مسلمين زي.
And then they will force us and they will like humiliate us, otherwise they will not be Muslims. And by the way, the guy is talking is a Muslim. The guy is talking is a Muslim. Both of them are Muslims. Because, you know, if they are Christians saying that, trust me, they will be killed immediately. But because they are Muslims, let us say, still they can let it go because they are Muslims, they are saying Shahada. I mean,
ما قال لي دلوقتي طالما انا مش سني ابقى كافر، مع ان انا لا سني ولا شيعي ولا اي حاجه. وانا قلت له ليه انا مش سني ولا شيعي؟ ربنا سبحانه وتعالى قال انه ربنا لا يأمر.
Let us see where he speak about what the book saying. Let us see. Hold on. Here we go.
اللي بيدرسوه للعيال بيقول وحيث جوزنا اكل ميتة الادمي، يعني ممكن ياكل ادمي بس في حالة الاضطرار.
And it's lawful for you to eat a human being if you have to.
لا يجوز طبخها ولا شيها.
And it's not allowed to cook it or to barbecue it.
لما في ذلك من هتك حرمة. بعد ما هياكلوا بس ما يسلقوش ولا يشويه. وتخار في ذلك.
Sorry, you know you can eat him, but you cannot cook him or barbecue him. You can eat him, but you cannot cook him or barbecue him.
كما أكله نيئا وغيره. وله قتل مرتد، خلي بالك، وله قتل مرتد وأكله.
And it's lawful to kill someone who left Islam and eat him. It's lawful to kill someone who left Islam and to eat him.
وقتل تارك. أيوة.
يعني يقتل بني آدم وياكله
عشان جعان.
لا.
Yeah, and you know he's angry. He need to eat. Come on.
ومش كده وبس.
And the other guy said, not only this, listen to this.
بيدرس عندنا في الأزهر.
And the host, he said, this is what we teach in Azhar University. Are you kidding me?
بص يا سيدي، الازهر الشريف قطاع المعاهد الازهريه الاداره المركزيه للكتب والمكتبات والوسائل التعليميه.
He's reading for him the first page. He says Al-Azhar Al-Sharif. He's reading for him the name of the book, the chapter, etc.
في حل الفاظ ابي شجاع للصف الثالث الثانوي والكلام.
And this is for the high school. This is the book for the high school.
الكلام ده صفحه 256
page number 256.
السنه دي
يا شيخ الازهر.
And this is printed this year. This is not an old book a century ago. This is a book printed this year. And now the host, he says, Sheikh Al-Azhar, where are you? This is reading your book?
السنه دي
يا مفتي الجمهورية.
Hey, Mufti. The Mufti is the highest authority in the Republic of Egypt. He says, what is this?
وزير الأوقاف صح.
Where is the minister of religion?
النوم.
Wake up!
الكتاب اللي بيدرس لطلبة ثانوية عامة فيه كلام إنه تارك الصلاة يتم شيء وأكله.
He's saying to them, the book for the high school in the other university, if somebody he leaves the prayer, we can kill him and eat him. And you know he continues speaking about eating the Christians, eating non-believers, you know, not only, and they talk about how to eat the one who leave Islam and how to eat the one who is not a Muslim. You know, there are different method of the way you eat them. Hisham, he left Islam? Oh, I wasn't looking. Okay, well, I'm happy for you, Hisham. Good for you, my friend. Call me if you want, so we can hear you. This is the religion, and this is the official government website. This is, I mean, the TV. This is not, you know. And remember, this is an Islamic country. I mean, nobody dare to say something if it's not true. You know what I mean? Those people will be dead in a second if they are fabricating things, and they are Muslims. But this is the truth. This is Islam. Let me post the link for you, for those who speak Arabic. If you speak Arabic, actually, please translate this video so people can see. You know? But at the same time, when the Muslim, they speak to non-Muslim, they say to you, Islam is peace, Islam is merciful, Islam is... this is Islam. This is really Islam. Islam is the truth, Go Fast, why you don't call me and show me how it is? You see, your name is Go Fast. Even your fasting is a fraud. Even your Muslim fasting is a fraud. You Muslim don't fast. You switch between the day you sleep, the time you sleep, and the day you wake up. So what do? You spend the night eating, and then you sleep in the day. Muslims don't fast. If you go right now for the price of food in Ramadan, you will find that the price of food in Ramadan is skyrocketing. Why? Because you are fasting or because you are eating more? If people are fasting, if nobody drives cars, the gas price will go down to zero because nobody's buying it. Too much gas. Correct? It is the demand who decide the price of the product. But because in Ramadan you eat way more, you don't fast. Every time Ramadan comes, prices go skyrocketing. Why? And supposedly the government, they try to stop the prices from going, but it's impossible. You know, they cook like crazy, they eat like crazy, and it's time for showing off. You know, they start inviting each other, and everyone want to show the other one, but he's more more wealthy. It's a show off, you know, show up time. This is why you see in month of Ramadan there's way more heart attack, way more violence, and way more death, because people, they are not eating correctly. You can search all those things in Google. I'm not making things up. Don't listen to me. Go right now, search Ramadan food price. Yeah, search it. You will find right away how the price go crazy. And then ask yourself, if people are fasting, why the price of food go crazy? Doesn't make sense, right? If everybody is fasting, it should be the opposite. Everything go crazy. Vegetables, fruits, meat, anything. Okay, why? I thought you are fasting. There's a video of Al-Qaeda and ISIS. They are fasting Ramadan. Oh boy. People are dying from hunger, and they are eating. Look at this video here. Hold on. I cannot find the original video. I want to find the video. They took most of the videos of ISIS. I wish I saved them all, because you know, Google is trying to delete them all from the internet. Yeah, I can't find. Anyway, they were having like the most fancy food. I mean, like crazy, you know, and people are there, they are dying, they are hungry. Yeah, that is the fact. There's videos, they show you how to divide the women, they capture them. What a sick cult. In the year of 2000, until now they do that. Until now, nothing changed. Nothing changed. Very sick cult. Do we have any Muslim would like to call us? See, we don't have too many because this is the time usually I go, but I'm trying to make a balance between those who live in Asia and those who live in America and those who live in Europe. So every one of you can have, you know, let us say, a part of our live broadcast. Yeah. You see the what's your name? You posted a website for the Shia, right? The Shia, they are posting about Khalid ibn Walid, he killed the guy. What about Ali? He burned people alive. Yeah, the same. And Muhammad, he burned the houses and even the trees of the Jews. And see, even Muhammad, he was going to burn the Muslims who are not praying, who are not coming Friday to pray. All this, here we go. Ali burned some people, and this is news reached to Ibn Abbas. See? So the Shia are talking about the guy who cooked a man and he raped, you know, his wife. Well, was Ali better? Was he? Do we have any Muslim? Nobody? So the conclusion, do we have a vaccine for stupidity? What do you think, guys? There's a vaccine for stupidity? You see, I believe there's stupidity. It can be a person who is born with defect, let us say. That is a person I cannot put him down because it's not his fault. You know what I mean? If this is what stupidity is, somebody, he have a lack of intellect because this is his ability. He's born this way. So God is merciful, right? This is not the person we are talking about. What the stupidity we are talking about a person who God gave him everything he needs. God gave him a brain. He gave him health. And yet, he chose to follow the garbage of Muhammad. What we can say for that? I say we have a vaccine for that, is knowledge. Don't lose hope. Knowledge can defeat the stupidity, this kind of stupidity. Because all those who believe in Islam, they don't know. They don't know really, they did not know better. You see, in the Middle East, you wake up in the morning, before even you wake up, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, the speakers is so loud. You go to the bathroom, even to do poo-poo, you hear Allahu Akbar. You are kissing your wife, Allahu Akbar. You open the radio, the Prophet said, Allah said. You go to school, the Prophet, peace be upon him. You go to work, they have verses of the Qur'an at the top of your head. It doesn't matter where you go. You are captured. So how those people can think? They cannot think. And Muhammad, he did his best to keep those people away from thinking, because thinking is dangerous. This is why in the Quran, chapter 5, verse 101 says, ask no questions. Verse 102 says, why? Because former generation asked questions and then they left the faith. Do you remember the video we made about Umar al-Khattab? When a guy, he was questioning the Quran, what Umar he did? Who remember? Who remember what Umar did? A person, he came to town and he was questioning the Quran. He's a Muslim. He's not like a Christian or a Jew. No, he's a Muslim, but he have questions. The news came to Umar that this guy is asking questions nobody can answer. What Umar the Caliph did? Who remember? Anyone remember? Nobody? What Amr did? He did beat the hell of him. He prepared for him a piece of wood made from the palm trees, have needles, like nails. And he started beating him in his head. And the guy was bleeding like crazy. And then he swore by Allah he will never do it again. For what? For asking question. And this is the Muslim they call Umar ibn Khattab. They call him that he is the most just person in the history of Islam after the Prophet. I mean, how you ask a question? You cannot ask question. You ask question, we will beat the hell of you. Any Muslim? Imagine somebody coming to Peter and ask him a question about the Bible. But Jesus, what Peter would do? He grab a piece of wood, he put nails in it, and he start beating the hell of him. And that will make him a good believer right away. I mean, the guy, he became right away a great believer. He never asked question after that. That's it. This is why the Sheikh of Al-Qaradawi is very well-known Sheikh supported by Qatar. He said, if not the sword of the caliphate, there's no Islam today. He said, you need to be careful and you need to be truthful. That the reason we need the sword, for if there's no sword, there's no Islam today. And that is not something Muslims they said a century ago. This is just new. And he is the head of the Islamic scholars in the world. His name is Al-Qaradawi. You can search his speech. Actually, you have it in TV. This is a TV station program. When they ask him about the Muslims and the Kaaba and the stone, he said, what you can do? Islam is based on stone. We kiss a stone. We go around a stone, and we bow down in the front of a stone, and then when we want to punish the shaitan, we throw a stone. This is Islam. This is Islam. Go fast is a Muslim? Yeah, he's a Muslim, but he's a Muslim, but he's a Muslim by name. Otherwise, he will call me and get me busted. Right? They call themselves Muslims, but they don't know even what Islam means. What Muslim mean? Do he know even? If we ask him what Allah mean, he don't know. What Allah mean? Here we go. Go fast, what Allah mean? If Jesus is God, why? I think you want to say why. Why Satan say, stop worshipping the Father and bow down for my and give you the kingdom? So fast. You just said if Jesus is God, why Satan? He said, so obviously Satan, first of all, the Satan did not say that. I mean, is that in English? And where Jesus, he said that? Where you get this from? Satan, he says to him, don't worship the Father. Give me the verse. I want to see, where it says, don't worship the Father and bow down to me, etc. The Muslim, the Muslim, when he watch a movie, let us say a Muslim, he go to a movie about, let us say, about going to the moon. The movie, let us say, 2 hours. What the Muslim will remember from the movie? Nothing. He remember the title? No. He remember one thing. Allah knows best. He go out of the movie, you ask him about the movie, he tell you everything but is according to his fiction. And this is proven in the Quran. And this is proven in the Hadith. That no Muslim can repeat a verse of the Quran twice as he repeated before. Each time they say the Quran or the verse or the Hadith, they have to add some words. And why you are talking about Jesus, if he is God or not? Let us focus if Allah is God. What kind of God do you think that women have a sperm coming from their ribs? This is God? Or man have a sperm coming from his backbone? Since when? Look like your God, you do not know anything. You never heard of something called testicles. Yeah, you know, let us pray that Allah will guide you. This is how stupid he is. Isn't it the Quran says Allah will guide not? You stupid. Isn't it Allah in the Quran, he says that how you can guide who Allah misguide, you idiot. According to the Quran, it's Allah who misguide us. And this is additional proof that Allah is a shaitan. Chapter 4, verse number 88 says, Allah, he says, are you going to guide those who Allah misguide? I mean, have you ever heard of a God, he says such a statement? Hey, listen, Muhammad, are you going to guide those who I deceived them? I deceived them. You want to guide them? What's wrong with you? And here we see the stupidity, because if Muhammad cannot guide the one who Allah misguides, so Muhammad will guide who exactly? If everybody is misguided by Allah. And if Allah is the one who misguide and deceive, so what is the job of shaitan? What shaitan he do for a living exactly? If Allah is the one who misguide, and Allah is saying, are you going to guide? Read carefully. Do you want to guide him whom Allah has made to go astray? Who made him go astray? Allah. Do you see it? Abdul, do you see it? He don't. You know, he will go. He will post for you some words about the Bible, but without even knowing how to quote them. But he don't see this in front of him. Allah is the one who make people go astray. He's the devil. And Muhammad is not allowed to guide. And then he says to you, may Allah guide you. This is why I say Muslims, when they say to somebody, may Allah guide you, they don't know what they are talking about. Can you say to somebody, may Allah guide you, when Allah, he says, you cannot say that? He's saying to you, are you going to guide who Allah made astray? Allah made us go astray. Yeah. Anyway, go fast. Just go, my friend. Go. Go fast. Don't come here again. Let your dad come. Because obviously I don't even understand your English. Is, you know, I thought my English is bad, but now I feel better. Thank you. You made me feel better about my English. Go fast. You know, the Prophet was fasting. How the Prophet fasting? He was sucking the lips of Aisha. This is how fasting works. This is how fasting people do. He was sucking the tongue and the lips of Aisha. Maybe he was out of water. Go fast. Actually, even the idea of fasting, you know, I will make a special video about it, just to show you that Muhammad, he is a potato. He was trying to copy other religion around him. They fast, he need to fast too. This is why Muhammad, he was changing the fasting days. You see, Ramadan is something new. Before that, he was fasting as the pagan. Before that, he was fasting as the Jews. Before that, he was fasting as the Christians. And then at the end, he chose Ramadan as the Sabian. This is a Sabian fasting. But there is no fasting in Islam. And hold on, the Muslim, they fast in the month of Ramadan. Let me show you this joke about Ramadan. Ramadan was called this way according to the book of history. Obviously Ramadan is either like August, July, something like that. It's Ramadan, it's the month of thirst. It's very hot. So the most hot month in Arabia, they call it Ramadan. Ramadan means the thirst. Ramadan. Okay. So the Arab, they have a calendar, and Ramadan is one of their months, the pagan month. So Muhammad, he took the Arab calendar, but he played with it. What he did? The idiot. The Arab, they have a lunar calendar. Let us see here. I'm trying to find you. I mean, I try to open a Muslim website and I see nothing but commercial. Hold on. All right. So when Muhammad, he went supposedly to Yathrib, the Muslim, they decide to make the calendar start from the time of Muhammad leaving to Yathrib, Hijrah. And they don't correct the year no more. You know? There's a verse about it in the Qur'an to forbid correcting the year. What the Arab and the Jews used to do. You see, the Jews, they have an occasion in the Passover. You know, if you go and read, you will see it's on the 15th of Nisan. 15th of Nisan, that is an occasion every year, a holy day for them. And this is considered as a Sabbath. And that 15 can be called is Sabbath, but it's not the day of Saturday necessarily. It can be Sunday, it can be Monday, it can be Tuesday, but it have to be in the 15th of Nisan. So how we can maintain the 15th of Nisan date? So what the Jews, they do, they add a few days every few years to correct their calendar. They add few days every few years to correct their calendar. Actually, they add it every year almost. So in order to keep the calendar working correctly, so they have to fix it. So they add days at the end of the year in order to make it work and come to normal. So they knew that the calendar is not perfect. The Arab, they have the same calendar, but the Arab, they do the same as the Jews. But Muhammad, because he's a fool, he told them that doing that is an act of kuffar. This is an act of pagan, because Allah, he says the year is a 12 month. Allah, he said the year is 12 month. So if you add a month every 3 years, you are just saying that Allah is wrong. So Muhammad is not like the Jews. The Jews, they don't say that God calendar. They say this is our calendar. Muhammad, he claimed that this is Allah calendar, the moon calendar. So he forbid them in chapter 9, verse number 37, from adding date or adding days to the end of the year to fix it. And by doing that, Ramadan, you know, you will notice Ramadan now, because he canceled the correction. He told them that this is an act of disbelief, this is a kuffar, this is pagan, this is false. So now Ramadan can come in July, Ramadan can come in December, can come in February, can come in March. Every year there's a new Ramadan. Why? Because Muhammad, he forbid them from correcting the calendar. Do you see it? It's in the front of your eyes. And he claimed that this is a work of the devil. It's in the front of you. I am not in Palto, guys. I just left because we are done for today. I'm not going to stay longer. Already we are here for 4 hours. All right? But do you see the verse? Remember this verse. Muhammad, he destroyed the calendar of the Arab by making such a verse. And actually, if you can go to the interpretation of the verse, and you will see how the Muslims are confused about the interpretation and even the translation. Everyone, he give you his own fiction words of what's happening. Anyway, I think we are done for today. I want to say thank you. Don't forget to download the video. And we will try to come on air tomorrow if we can. God is willing. If we live, and if we are healthy, and if the Lord give us a chance to live one more day, we will be one more time again here. So I want to say thank you. May the Lord bless you. Pray for the Muslims. Islam is a false cult. And yes, there is a vaccine for stupidity, but not for the stupid one. For the stupidity. Because if you decide to be stupid, and God gave you a gift called brain, and you decide not to use it, there's no vaccine can help you. But if you are suffering from stupidity because of your ignorance, yes, you can fight it by knowledge, by education, by thinking, by using God's gift, which is called the brain. Use it. It's a gift given to you. We have it. This is why we don't believe in a God who promised us endless penis. That is not God. Even the devil will not do that. I mean, even the devil, he will not be so stupid to say such a stupid thing. I mean, this is the devil himself, the most disgusting person, supposedly. He will not go that low. You know what I mean? I think even the devil will be shy to say what Allah is saying. I don't think the devil, he will come and say, hey, I will give you endless penis. I mean, this is a child, this is stupid, this is silly, not only disgusting. The devil, I think he's low, but not that low. Allah is lower than the devil. Way more low. I think the devil is learning from Allah. Even though, biblically, no, the Bible says that Satan is the father of all lies. But I think Muhammad is more law than the devil. You know what I mean? All lies come from the devil, yes. But Muhammad, he is the father of all lies at the end of the day. Because he is the one who promoted. And he is the one who claimed it's from God. And obviously the devil is within Muhammad. And Muhammad is the devil. Thank you for being here. May the Lord bless you. Until we see you soon again. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. And don't forget to download the videos because we will take them down very soon. Take care.